Welcome to Lifted Living, Episode 2, The Science of Sungazing. Kevin Biggs, Bigley, and Austin Hughes. Alright, Biggs, so obviously this is your topic. How do you want to start this one out?
People got questions? Let's go. What you need to know? Because I want to dive deep, get the understanding, get the benefits for people they can't have, freely have. Understanding this knowledge of the mind follows the body. And once the mind accepts, the body adapts.
Okay.
That's the key to unlock. But also total surrender.
Right.
Those
Now,
are the main keys too.
Let me ask you this.
So Sungazing starts with the mental prep and then the actual prep.
Okay. But once you're into the practice, how does the light from the sun interact with you to make these benefits, I guess? You know, how does it form the benefits?
The internal activities of the brain. You got the cerebrum, the cerebellum, pineal, the glands, the way the light comes in and it moves and the glands know what to do, and it sends this mega sensation of, you just know it lights you up. The thoughts clear, you know, and there is maybe messages coming from it.
Can you get more into, like, you know, how it interacts with the brain and maybe like even the blood, like you were kind of talking about in the first episode?
We get born maybe dormant even, and the light is what wakes it up. That's the enlightenment. That's why the word light is literally in that word. Maybe.
Okay. But okay, so last episode you talked about, like, covered kind of how the thalamus is kind of like an eyelid, right, on the pineal gland.
It's driven electrically because it's electrons stream coming in, the light, you know, and the angles when it's rising and everything, it's like a big chart. There's different frequencies and colors that are at different levels and everything. But it's driven through the nerves. That's what carries the electric in the body. You know, the nervous system.
Right.
And it's just something that you can do and like train to put this tension to be able to grab it more. You know, through the slow adaptation.
Right.
But we're talking about something that's free and continually free.
Every day. There's an abundance of it.
Looking back, you know, that's what got people by a lot.
Right.
By being outside.
Okay, can you kind of touch on, you know, or maybe go into detail, I guess I should say, on how the blood circulates through the eyes and how the light affects the blood from you looking at it? Can you go into the detail?
Yeah, that I would affect it, you know? So, the light is something that, the way the eyes are, it's just a design thing. It was meant to be, the way it comes through. There's these little rods and cones all in the eyes. If you look with the microscope on the eye, it's all these little rods and cones. And it's like these little receiving sites for these photons, which is a wave of, you know, it apparently has all abilities, whatever element or whatever you need. So we're designed for it, and it just adapts. It's the craziest thing. Through time, you'll see. But there is multiple glands, organ, and then the system, you know, and the blood. Yeah, from the heart, you know. The blood's about 1/4 of the body, 3/4 is the lymph, but the blood goes through these bigger vessels, the smaller vessels, and I've noticed when you go for a long gazing section, 20 plus minutes, your pulse slows down and you slow breathing. And it's almost like, say, if you can get to 30 minutes, the first 15 minutes is just prepping yourself to intake that last, to quiet the mind, settle down. The mornings, very benefit. Evenings.
Okay. Now, obviously, like, you're out in the sun all the time. We live in, Raleigh, Cary, North Carolina. So
if you don't want to look at it, lay in it at least first.
Right, but what I'm getting at is it's pretty freaking hot here, man, and the sun gets, in my opinion, intense. But you can stand in it with no sunscreen and stare directly into it at high noon, and then look away and have no visual, effects whatsoever. Now, if that's not fucking incredible, I don't know what is.
Living proof.
Let me ask you this. When it comes to the benefits that you get, can you touch on what exactly the best benefits are and how you believe that's achieved through the sun gazing?
Best benefits, how? Well, the light, when it's coming in, there's a way to collect it, and it gets stored in the solar plexus, the middle chakra, the yellow one.
So it just builds up in your solar plexus?
Yeah. And it's like almost from there is a knuckle where it's like this other muscle. And when you're grabbing it like that, you can feel this almost a building like this illumination. And you just know that you know that that's working. And so you stay doing it. And that's what all the people say doing it. They just stay doing it. And it's peaceful. And apparently it has all abilities existing in the light. So it doesn't matter what level you are on it, wherever you start from. But getting the mind prepped, that surrender, and telling your mind it's okay. Because I remember specifically the first few times I did it, I was thinking in my mind, what am I doing? This is crazy. You will shortly see, very quickly see, and develop a desire just like as I did. But from a system point, for longevity, think about that. That's a great plan. That's always there. If that was in the regimen, and then you had a life, so you wake up, and then you set a time for the sun, and then you go throughout your day, and then the next day you set a time in the sun. So it's like a small little thing to snip in there. And
it's almost like practicing meditation, like it is your meditation. And
but knowing the times and going and get it, but I guess, continuing doing whatever you need to do.
Right. So can you just kind of like touch on how you think, I get the benefits and stuff, but how do you think it's literally like happening? Describe the process of how it works.
Alright. This guy in India described it as the 5 elements.
Okay.
The air, water, space, earth.
Okay.
So everything has its own ratio. All those have to be balanced, or the whole thing's out balanced, And since the light is a totality, it has everything exists in there. Through the pineal is the receiver. It comes in like this. And then there's a little section to the cerebellum. That's where the metabolism happens. And that's when it gets turned into the 5 element energy. Then that gets evenly distributed. So it's almost like, think of it in fast time coming in, but then in your body it's like getting mixed and morphed like this, and then layering perfectness. If you're in the soft hours before 10 or after 4, those are safe periods. Adding those in the lifestyle. Even if you weren't looking at it, but just skin exposure, it would still give benefits.
Okay, so you said the 5-element energy is the sunlight comes in through your pineal gland and creates a 5-element energy in your body that's distributed throughout your body. Whereas, can you kind of go into detail about exactly what that means?
Everybody reports subsistence, where they just less food, less food, more satisfied, sir. Like just so through those testimonies, it's shown that it is food and it is building and it's doing something. But yeah, we're talking about on that like chemical level or biological level. There's a transmutation, right?
Yeah.
And through those series of 4 or 5 glands and parts of the system, it gets softened, mixed, and somehow it's just like total longevity building for you.
Okay, so
that's what I felt directly.
Let me ask you this. So I kind of am into this whole 5-element energy idea. And so you said, what are the 5 elements again?
Fire, air, earth, water, and then the ether, the spirit.
Okay, can you go into how each one of those would affect different parts of the body or heal different parts of the body? Or like, what does the fire element go to? What does the water element go to? Like, can you go into that?
Yeah, it does. The ether, the space is the biggest one. It's the smallest, guys. Then it's the air, the fire, the water, and the earth. The earth is the heaviest and the most condensed. So each cell, each structure has a balance of all those 5 to make it perfect. And it just gets brought in through the body, through the eyes, through the pineal, back to the cerebellum. Then the pituitary is the main CEO. But you don't really think about it. You don't think about that when you're doing it.
It just happens.
That is what it is, on the anatomy side.
So what you're saying is that every cell contains some part of each element. So each element is going to pretty much every cell in your body and kind of just juicing it, giving it that boost.
There's like a knowingness of where you're at, and when you're getting the light, it just knows somehow where the disbalance is, where that is, and it just starts working like that. But 2 minutes a day isn't enough to see anything really extraordinary. 20 to 30 constant sessions, multiple times a week, is when I really was getting, very lightless. I met a guy in Boone one time. I was up in the mountains, right? And years ago, before I did it. And it was a seed that was planted, I guess I realize now. But this guy told me, he's like, yo, I just met this guy. He's a sun gazer. He eats once every 2 weeks. He lives out in the woods somewhere. Wow, you kind of play it down like, what? And whatever, 3 or 4 years later, I end up seeing something else, to make me be like, whoa, no, wow. It does make me think, wow, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then doing it, peace. It's a balance.
Okay, so.
But you can come at it for different reasons. Some people aren't going to try to do a total cleanse, or some people just want to have a little quick pop.
Yeah.
So.
Right, of course. I'm sure most people wouldn't go as hard as you when they get into it. But what I'd like you to touch on next is some of the. I guess I would like you to pick your top 3 topics that your mentor or mentors taught you from your sun gazing mentors taught you. This is the yogis. What are the top 3 things, like the most amazing, fascinating things you learned from them? Number 1.
HRM Hira Ranta Menik and Umasankar. He goes by SunYogi. SunYogi, mid 30s. This other guy's 70s. This guy in his 70s got tested by NASA 411 days on water only and sunlight. All perimeter, eyes.
411 days?
And then they're just like, oh, and he was looking at him every day like, oh, you done? Like, oh, he's like, I'm good. And nothing ever changed balance, and they were made to shut
Wait,
down.
you're saying literally 411
No, I'm
days?
telling. I remember they can
That's
go
over a
food
year.
Free. No, I'm saying
That's over a year, Biggs.
You can go food free.
So
totally.
you're saying that
You can go
this
food free
guy
totally.
literally didn't eat for a year and fucking 3 months.
Yes, he did it again for 111 days with somebody else. He's done multiple ones. HRM, link in the description. I'll put it there.
All right. Okay.
And I'm just saying.
I believe it. I just wanted to make.
I'm just saying.
Make
look
sure
at
the
it.
facts were clear.
Before I ever, looked at it, I saw these guys and looked at them for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then slowly did the thing, and I was like, damn, it didn't hurt though. I was like, holy shit, for a minute. And then it was like a draw to it, like a magnet.
All right, folks. Apparently, with Sungazing, you don't have to eat for over a fucking year if you drink water. Okay, now, number 2. What's the second most fascinating thing you learned from the Yogi Masters?
The energetic level, right? The one. How you can see and you feel more a part of everything. You feel like a oneness from the outside nature, and then getting it so much it balances the inside nature, and it's almost like then you have connection. It's balanced. You just feel this connectionness to everything.
And honestly, I can attest
You don't
to
really
that.
want to hurt anything, it's just a calm, tranquil peace.
And dude, being your friend, I can 100% say this dude is literally the embodiment of that.
I feel
you can see it in him. It's
the enlightenment.
He's
has
so at one with everything around him. It's crazy.
There's many avenues to enlightenment. The sun will greatly.
Okay, now let me ask you, what is the third most fascinating thing?
I like this, man. I like this.
Because lifted living. Lifted living is fun, man.
No, we need to know.
Number 3.
You can now have the power to create anything you want. You feel like you're just like on a throne. You dictate. You can plan everything, and now you know you want to help people. Economically, you can take that power, concentrate, and know that you can put on and help out and be a part, and actually from that oneness vision, do the one that you had the power to, like on a physical level. And it's a blooming thing, imagine if a lot of people started to feel the same way. And community empowerment, local projects, whatever. So I see it as a vector to something else, to something greater.
Wow, that's pretty
I want to
cool
ask
stuff.
you something. What do you think from all you've heard and everything? I mean, you've
Well,
done it.
Yeah,
many
I've done
times,
it.
right?
I've done it a lot. Honestly, not recently, but in the past I have, and I agree with you, man. Like, I'm not really. I'm not a skeptic at all. I 100% have felt the effects. I think I did talk about in the first episode how I had that, experience where I was looking at the sun with you and the energy was pulsing through me. So I definitely have felt the power of it. I guess it's just, it's hard for me to really dedicate, I guess, to doing it daily, and mostly just because I work and then I have other interests and hobbies and stuff that I'm into. And I've never been good at meditating in general. I'm just, I'm someone that's, kind of I like doing things. I like moving around. I like, so standing and looking at the sun just it seems boring to me, but I do appreciate it when I force myself to do it. So, you know, that's my take on it. I love doing it with you. I would like to do it more, but it's not something that, as of yet, that I like crave, you know, type thing. Even though I have experienced some really cool things.
Let's make a comparison. You take 4 shots of liquor, you're gonna feel that.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
the next day, you got a vivid memory like, that was, you know, I gotta turn up that night. So why people keep coming back to it is because it was actually like, oh. It's a forever seeking, curiosity.
Dude, this is my thing.
Because
Like,
it
when
hits
I,
you,
when I,
it's like a human. It's like I think a human. HUE, hue is the color, light. Man manifest. So it says light manifest. So we're literally manifestations.
That's crazy. I've never heard that before. For me, it's like, man, when I have enough money to not care about time, I'll probably start sungazing every morning and every night. But it's like right now, I work at 7 in the morning. The sun rises at 7:30. I can't be looking at it when it rises. I just got to be working. And then when I get home from work, you know, I'm doing this YouTube thing. I love making music. I got a bunch of hobbies and I'm like very interested in. So it's like, I feel like, you know, that interests me more at the time. But once I get to a point where I don't feel like I need to be spending all my time doing it, because right now it's so fun and fascinating that I just want to put all my time into it. But once I feel like I've accomplished some things and I can kind of sit back and relax a little bit, I'm definitely going to get into it. 100%.
Totally
And we'll
That's
definitely
fine.
make videos on it. We'll touch on
That's
that
fine.
as I make progress in that. But
the mental step is the first.
right, just as of right now,
Because nobody unwillingly is just gonna go submit themselves.
Right. All right. Well, anything in closing you'd like to add to the viewers at home?
Get your water. You can get a water distiller. I'll put another link in description. Countertop water distiller.
You sell them on your website, don't you?
Steams it, re-drips, removes everything through the physics of steaming and recondensing.
You sell those on your website, don't you, Biggs?
No, I got a good. I know somebody that has good stuff. And
Well, I thought you showed me your website. You could put out an advertisement, man. What's your website called?
we'll get back to that.
We'll leave a link in the description for Biggs' website where you can buy the water distillers.
But
It might not be live right now, but he's working on it. Okay.
Main point is, regardless of that, the water creature, water keeps it lush, hydrated, salt.
I can 100% attest to that.
Not through today and tomorrow, but I'm talking decade, like long jet.
Yeah, distilled water is actually going to be our next episode, guys. You know, Biggs got me into distilled water, and I 100% swear by it. It is amazing, and we're definitely going to do a whole episode on it. So, you know, look out for that. I just want to say thanks to everyone for tuning in. If you like our stuff, please like and subscribe. We're definitely going to have a lot more stuff like this coming, and we appreciate everything you do. All right, you have a good one. This is Lifted Living, Episode 2, with Kevin Bigley and Austin Hughes. And Stelly. We got Stelly. Later, y'all.